It is I, Menace Snowdecker. Welcome back to another YouTube video of Snowbreak in the Sands of Secrets. Probably the last video we're gonna have here. Alarm clock ring. Shut up! Shut up! I'm going back to sleep. Do not wake me. Is it over? Day started? Okay, fine, I'm up. See, this is why I don't use an alarm clock. Honestly, they tend to raise your heart rate. Urgh, what the heck? This stupid thing! I swear I turned it off. Benny? He slept long enough. It's time to wake him up anyway. Life? What's the rush? It's not like anyone from the office is banging on the door yet. Oh no, darling, don't wake up. Just go back to sleep. Before I could fully open my eyes, her hand gently covered them. At least turn the lights off in the background. Good lord. A soft weight settled on my chest, accompanied by a familiar sweet fragrance wafting through the air. How long have I been sleeping? About half a day. How you feeling? Still tired? She must have been sitting at the edge of the bed. I could feel her carefully tucking the blanket around me. Much better now. How are Freesia and Yao? They're both fine, don't worry. We made sure they got their nutrient packs and full checkups before sending them back to their rooms. They're probably still asleep. You know, I think I'm starting to piece together his relationship status a bit better. It's taken me a while to figure it out, but I think I finally understand it. So somewhere down the road, him, Fenny, and Life hit it together. Somehow it works for those three. And it's given off, like, that vibe in a lot of animes where, like, the main character will pick somebody, and a lot of them will still want to be with him regardless or try to win him over as time goes on. Kind of like a certain high school demon anime I probably should not mention because everybody knows it and it's definitely inappropriate. Then there's Rosario plus Vampire. That's a good example. I'd have to say another one was Ari Fioretta. I believe that's how you pronounce it. The one with the little blonde vampire girl, the bunny girl, the dragon girl, and that main character with the white hair, the eye patch, the prosthetic arm, the two pistols, constantly uses black and red. Yeah. That's kind of vibe this relationship has given me. The mattress bounced slightly as Fenny rolled off me and nestled beside me. Her hand, which had been covering my eyes, slid down, her fingers gently tracing along my cheek. Seriously, darling, you need to take it easy. Do you have any idea how worried I was yesterday? I came home after work only to be told that the three of you were still hooked up to that spindle system thing. So I grabbed Wednesday, we rushed to the monitors, and oh boy, all the readings were off the charts. Were you trying to give us a heart attack? Hello, I'm talking to you. Hi, I'm acknowledging you. Hi, Fenny. How's it going, Fenny? Are you having a good morning, Fenny? Respond to Fenny's affection. Instead of replying with words, I chose a better way to ease her worries. I tilted my head toward her, leaning my face closer. Oh, that'll do it. Always so cheeky. She pressed her lips against my cheek, leaving a warm, lingering kiss. With that, her earlier frustration melted away. Along with the last traces of my sleepiness, I finally opened my eyes. I mean, it doesn't seem like a bad relationship, but still, I can't say I fully approve either. But then again, people are gonna be people. They're gonna bring up the argument of how, oh, so long as you're not hurting anybody, it's fine, right? We just want ourselves to be happy. But this still leaves a little bit of an awkward sense of uncomfortability. Yeah, just gonna leave it at that. Ready to get up? Yeah, don't worry, I'm okay. Arms, legs, every part of me's fine and working well. With a good stretch, I suddenly pulled them both into my arms. Caught off guard, they let out delighted squeals and chuckles, amidst which I slipped out of our cozy bed. Because I didn't really see all of the stories, I'm just trying to piece together how we go from her breaking my ribs and her annoying the crap out of me to this. It seems quite a stretch from the first few dozen episodes I recorded. If I were to look at my younger self when I first started and tell him this is how it's going to turn out, I don't think he'd believe me. I don't think he would. Director T and Chengsing are probably expecting you. The intel department has been working around the clock, and they've pieced together most of what they found so far. So, darling, who do you think we're dealing with this time? That crazy witch Rosen or Zero? That scheming old hag? Kinda harsh words coming from Fenny, but I'm impressed and also surprised. Could be either. But honestly, it doesn't matter who's behind this. Then what does matter? The method. For us figuring out how they did this. Oh, how they did it, sorry. Is more crucial than who did it. Sorry! Ever since the demiurges started gaining ground, not just us, but every group capable of utilizing Taijin as a resource has started reevaluating their strategies. And now we've just found out that our opponent had already mastered this level of technique 6 months ago. Don't overthink it, things work out. We'll handle whatever comes our way. She looks better with a smile. She gently stroked my back, her tranquil gaze radiating a warmth that never failed to calm my thoughts and ease my worries. Exactly, you're the head of the house, aren't you? So act like it and stop overthinking. If you keep frowning like that, you'll get wrinkles. Stress gives me wrinkles, not overthinking. Just clarifying that right now. Fenny circled around me, meticulously adjusting my collar. Moments later, she stepped back, her eyes scanning me from head to toe, satisfied. A wide, approving smile spread across her face. There, now you're ready to face anything. How are things going for you two? Everything okay? Steady progress, though it's slow. I'm handling the joint training sessions, and Wednesdays keeping a close eye on the exosuit adaptivity upgrades for you. Don't worry about us, we're doing great. Good to hear. Well then, see you tonight. Sure, see you tonight. Make sure you come back all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Why do I feel like I want to blush after hearing that? After leaving soft kisses that brought a rosy glow to their cheeks, I stepped out the door. The hallway was as quiet as ever, but I knew that on the other side of the walls, nearly every department and headquarters was bustling with work. Yggdrasil was facing increasingly complex challenges, and our enemies were growing in both number and cunning. Balancing work and the needs of those I held dear, I had to give it my all. Oh, I thought you were still asleep. I was going to fetch you a bit later. Nice to see you too, Caroline. What do we got? Just outside T's office, I ran into Caroline, hurrying along with an armful of papers. What's all this? Let's see. Notices for assistance with the beating investigation, a press release about the company's stock redistribution, mispronounced that, and this one, a stamped document for the home border office. Oops. She rattled off the list while mechanically counting the documents in her arms, but the load proved too much, and one of the documents slipped and fell to the floor. It's okay, I've got this. You should go inside now, Adjutant. Director T and Chengsing are waiting for you. Ignoring her suggestion, I bent down and picked up the document. It was a thin sheaf of papers with a receipt from Yggdrasil's finance department tucked inside. That's for Boo Boo's family. Her hometown isn't nearby, so we had to go with physical copies. Got it. Alright, see you. Now, see you. Just type family. It's not that hard. You don't need all these big fancy words. Familial compensation. A term I hadn't thought of in what felt like forever suddenly resurfaced in my mind. I forced the emotions down and pushed open the door to T's office. Adjutant. Morning. Oh wait, half a day. Afternoon. Most likely. Yeah? Yeah. How are you feeling? Tired of living, but willingly here. How's everybody else? Fine, nothing to worry about. Let's get straight to business. I've made some headway on what you asked me to investigate. The Jai family's ancestral property in Beeding. It was indeed a mining operation. About half a century ago, it was abruptly shut down overnight. Every piece of related information, documents, records, witnesses, was deliberately erased or buried. 0. Yes. Following this thread, she's almost certainly involved. I'm still digging deeper. I'm reaching out to some black market intelligence dealers to see if they can offer any useful leads. Joy. What about your family, your elders? Are they willing to share anything? Heh. That's yet another strange thing I was going to report. I can't get through to anyone back home anymore. How come? Didn't they just send you a family letter not too long ago? They did, but when I tried calling to ask about that letter, I couldn't get through to anyone in the family. I have no idea what's going on. Let's not assume the worst yet. Just yet. Sorry! If someone's targeting Yggdrasil, they'll reach out to you or me sooner or later. I agree. Don't let this distract you, Adjutant. It's probably nothing to worry about. It's the things that I don't know about that constantly make me worry about. Alright, so what's the situation here? I turned to T, who had just slid a peculiar object across the table to me, along with a report. I was about to say, why does it look so familiar? And I was like, oh, the tooth from Ouroboros. Okay, that's why it was familiar. That thing's really a tooth? It's large. It's not pointed, though. It's blunt. Shame. I like sharp teeth better. A tooth from the Iron Ouroboros. Thanks to your investigation and beating, Boo Boo's data uploads are now complete. The head of the engineering department personally reconstructed this object from the data. Iron Ouroboros, huh? We're sticking with that name from the story? It's already stuck, but take a look at the report. That's where things get interesting. Following her suggestion, I picked up the report. The content immediately seized my attention. It has been confirmed that the components... Figured it was about to do that. Which could not be reconstructed due to the lack of necessary materials, contain the same substance found in the composition of Wooden's remains. Awakening dust. No, this doesn't make any sense. It's impossible for Rosen to have created something like this 6 months ago. Unless it was an early-stage prototype. Starting with arthropods and crustaceans, then gradually progressing to higher life forms. It's a standard R&D approach. That's trouble. In the precise manipulation of Tytogen you saw earlier in the spindle system, that has Rosen Quarana written all over it. What is with these names? Targeting an entire region, manipulating the locals' beliefs, playing mind games for personal gain, that's also her style. But it's been 6 months, plenty of time for new variables to emerge. Do we have any lead on Zero's whereabouts? Already on it. We've also sent operatives to the Jai family's Thank you. I want to read that. Former property. You need to take a breather. For now, the safest move is to focus on the spindle system, the new exosuits, and the joint training program. Frisia's adapting well to her turbo exosuit, and Yao's performance metrics are becoming more precise. Oh, and what about Nita? Are you gonna be giving her a new suit anytime soon? Cause gosh dang it, that'd be lovely to see. What's that? You haven't done it! I do not like this conversation anymore. I'm sick of you skipping over Nita. I'm sick of it. She deserves a new suit. It's not fair. Which will guide the next phase for exosuit development. In just one day, the three of you achieved what precisely required a full battlefield deployment. The spindle system is currently the safest and most reliable way for Heimdall to carry out missions. I'm not sure about that, but okay. Boo Boo, didn't she upload 3 complete independent datasets? When can I start with the second one? Menace Decker. She sighed, rubbing her temple as she softly called my name. Easy, there's no need to rush. You don't have to push yourself this hard. And what if I want to push myself this hard? Things gotta get done. We're already sending out compensation to families. How am I supposed to take it easy? Boo Boo's condition is improving. It isn't as bleak as you think. I'm watching her. It's only a matter of time before she wakes up. This legit feels like I'm the boss now and she's actually directing everything else under me, which is awesome. I love that feeling. I mean, being a boss is a lot of work, don't get me wrong, but... Hey, I'm tired of reporting to other people half the time. It's honestly kind of annoying. The way people handle jobs these days is just pitiful. It really is. They need somebody like me at the top. But if you're this worried, all the more reason to slow down for her sake, because I'll need you to. I'll do it, just tell me how. Right to the point. Frisia must have told you the spindle system is far from perfect. As its first users, feedback from you three, any changes you experience is crucial to its refinement. Promise me you'll take a few days off. Spend time with Frisha and Yao. Ask them if they've noticed any subtle changes in themselves. Even the smallest details can help. T. I'm a funny kind of person. I'm blunt and straight to the point. I tell more jokes than I can count. And at the same time, I don't take days off unless I'm actually sick. And I always show up. Unless I'm tired or forget, but that's rare. That's very rare. That being said, I always do my part the best I possibly can. And taking a sick day when I got blood boiling inside my joints is not going to solve anything. With more data, we can continue to improve the system and help keep everyone involved safe. And you will be able to get out into the field sooner for hands-on operations. Other than handling the various trivial matters at the company. That's all I can do for you now. You said it yourself, Yggdrasil is like one big family. And in this family, we don't pile all the tough tasks onto one member. How I wish my planet shared the exact same words you just shared right now, Director T. Ugh! God! Ow! Ugh! Man, joint training is one thing, but now the company's tacked on extra special training? We've got drills tonight, too? My back's gonna give out at this rate. Buy a back brace. They're very handy to have. Half an hour later, I had returned to the main hall in the base. It was just past noon, and Thank you. And the place was practically deserted, except for Nita. She was bracing her hands on the back of the sofa, bent forward with one leg stretching high behind her, clearly working through some seriously stiff muscles. Nita. Oh, my sacroiliac joints. Ow, my pelvic floor muscles. Nita. I can't skip this stretch. If I don't loosen up, I'm gonna be miserable all afternoon. Nita! Yes, sir! She looks so aggravated. Her response was so sharp and loud it could have been featured in a Heimdall promotional video. Rubbing my ear to ease the ringing, I couldn't hold back a wry grin. Jeez, Adjutant, you almost gave me a heart attack. Yeah, well, you almost deafened me, so consider us even. What are you doing? Just stretching out. These drills lately have been hell. I'm sore all over. I tried booking a neuronics therapy session, but they told me you wouldn't have an opening in the next 2 months. Ew. Hey, since you're here, how about give me a quick rub? Come on, just a little massage. 2 minutes, tops. Before I could respond, she already... I cannot pronounce that word. Sidled? Sidled? Whatever. I'm just gonna put clung up, because I don't know what else to say here. Clung up. Clinging to my arm and flashing a grin. Her face was flushed from the workout, radiating an unusual charm up close. Alright, come closer. I want to tell you something. Huh? What is it? About the therapy reservation. Uh-huh, I'm listening. There's a way to cut the line. What? Shh! Oh, hush, gotcha. I can cut the line. When no one's looking, just sneak your name tag to the front of the queue. You'll be up next week. You low-down scoundrel. Ha! No wonder I've been waiting forever. You're the best adjutant. I knew you had my back. Glad to help. Just don't get caught. Uh-huh, got it. Now I need to ask you something. Have you seen Freesia and Yao? I've been looking all over for them. Huh? That's weird. Professor Freesia should be in her room. She woke up earlier this morning, looked kinda out of it. Maybe low blood sugar or just tired? She wandered around a bit, then went back to get some more shut-eye. As for Yao... She raised a hand and pointed at the ceiling. On the roof? Yep. She said the simulated sunlight in that system doesn't cut it, and real sunshine on the roof's more her thing. You gonna go up and see her? Yeah. And if Freesia wakes up, let me know, okay? You got it! Remember, sneak your name tag to the front. I mimed the action, and she responded with an even brighter grin. Gosh. With that, I made my way to the stairs leading to the roof of the base. Not what I was expecting, but I did enjoy that. The sun bathed the rooftop in its warm embrace. Yao was the only one there. Sprawled on a bamboo lounge chair, legs stretched out straight, her fair skin almost gleaming in the sunlight. Hey, I was just wondering how long it'd take you to find me up here. You knew I was looking for you? Nope, not a clue, but hey, since you're here, catch! She let out a big yawn and casually tossed a bottle of sunscreen my way before rolling over onto her stomach. They don't even ask for his consent. They just straight up say, hey, do me. Now, please. Make it snappy. Honestly, if that was me, that would take some time to adjust to. I don't think I'd actually be able to adjust to that at all in the first few months. Come to think of it, I don't even think I'd actually enjoy it. Huh. I don't think I'd take any joy out of that at all. That's odd. How's Freesia doing? Still catching up on sleep. I think. I haven't seen her yet. Yeah, sounds about right. We're all drained. And how are you feeling? Me? I'm good. A little higher? Yeah, a bit to the right. The afternoon sun bathed us in its warmth. I leisurely applied sunscreen to her back as we traded lazy bits of conversation in the golden light. For a moment, I was caught in a strange sense of deja vu. As if this scene had played out countless times before. As if all Heimdown operatives were meant to live such a peaceful life together. Hello, are you spacing out? I asked you a question. Huh? What question? I said, what do you think of me right now in your eyes? There's no right now or back then. You've never changed in my eyes. Ha, okay. So what am I like? Let's see. Pinches her arm for no reason. You're lazy, constantly sleeping when you should be a bit more active. You take extra resting breaks. Despite those, you're a darn good sniper. A pretty girl. Come on, I'm serious. My answer was better than that one. So am I. Nice. I finished applying the sunscreen and was just about to set the bottle aside when she suddenly grabbed my hand. If something's bothering you, just tell me. I'll be there for you. You already are. You've always been there for me. She turned to look at me, squinting slightly against the sun. There's something I just can't get over. I'm a Heimdall operative, but here I am relying on ordinary people to fight and bleed on the front lines, just to dig up intel for us. Every time I think about that agent Boo Boo, it really pains me. Why so quiet all of a sudden? Because I feel the same way. But I've had to force myself to face it. Ha! Teach me your secret then. How have you managed to deal with it? She rolled onto her side, facing me fully, her hand still holding mine firmly. It's actually not that complicated. Everyone has one life, but not everyone gets to choose how they spend it. Boo Boo, the other agents risking their lives out there, and even us, we're the privileged few. We're lucky enough to have that choice. It's true that we're stronger and we're playing a safer game while field agents make sacrifices for us. That's a reality we can't change. But if I let guilt consume me, if I let it cloud my judgment, then I'd be dishonoring the choices and sacrifices of people like Boo Boo. That's a bunch of pretty words. It's also in Jedi teachings. You mustn't let your emotions or your feelings cloud your judgment. And things like guilt, that's an emotion, that's a feeling. If you let all that cloud your judgment, you can't see the picture fully, and you tend to make a lot of mistakes that usually lead in a whole bunch of death. Maybe, but it's still the truth. Heh. You want to know what I think of you? I've seen you on the battlefield. I've seen you looking out for everyone. I know that you'd brace yourself and throw everything else aside to protect someone. But right now, we're not just dealing with the remnants of the former board. We've got Rosen and probably even sneakier, more dangerous enemies we don't even know about yet. To beat those who've long since abandoned their humanity, we have to toughen up. Before I could finish, she pulled me into a firm embrace, holding me tight with all her might, as if she'd never let go. Yow. Shh. Just let me hold you for a while. Fine. The world seemed to pause, and time itself became meaningless. I felt the rise and fall of her breath, the faint tremble in her shoulders. Without a word, I wrapped my arms around her, holding her close. We stayed like that for what felt like forever, until her breathing calmed and the sun dipped further west. Slowly, gently, we let go of each other. Let's head back. Sure. And you should check on Freesia too. She needs this more than I do. I know. As our footsteps faded away, the rooftop returned to its quiet stillness, but the void in our hearts had been filled with each other's warmth. Where is Freesia? Freesia, it's your turn now. You stayed strong, holding back your emotions throughout the mission. Now it's time to open the door and let me in. Freesia, I'm coming in. That it? Okay. When I entered Freesia's room, she was lying quietly on her bed. If not for the faint glow emanating from the spindle headset she was wearing, she could have easily passed for someone deep in sleep. 10 minutes earlier, a spindle system technician had rushed to me, reporting that someone was still accessing the first dataset uploaded by Boo Boo. It didn't take long to confirm that the user was none other than Freesia. Typical. Unlike the last time when she'd been stuck in the system with dangerously high theotropic nerve activity, whatever. This time her vitals were completely stable, so stable it barely felt like she was immersing her consciousness in the system at all. After ensuring all emergency measures were in place, I entered her room, with the headset in hand. Now I needed to dive deeper into her psyche? Whatever. I let myself relax, lying down naturally beside her, then I put on the headset. If she wanted to linger in that simulated world, I'd go in and find her, and then... Actually, I saw her the moment I re-entered Beeding. She was standing on the edge of a massive boulder, perched high above the canyon. Let me guess, she's looking at a flower. The simulated environment was bathed in the stillness of night. She stood there alone, quietly gazing down at the canyon below. I was close. She was looking down at something, but it wasn't a flower. It was a canyon. I climbed the steep stone steps. Sorry, added a word there that's not there. Winding up the mountain path, each step bringing me closer to her. Closer until I was behind her, and then by her side, close enough that if she lifted her head slightly, her smile would fill my entire view. What's on your mind, Freesia? Huh? Oh, nothing. I'm fine. I just slept long enough and thought I could use some fresh air. The sky here is so beautiful and the space feels endless. Even just standing on this cliff doing absolutely nothing feels so nice. That made me feel slightly nauseous. That was very odd movement. Nice? In what way? I took another step closer, close enough to catch the scent of her hair. In the way that it freshens my heart and soul. These past few years I've been cooped up at the company, either on missions or buried in research. And during that rare downtime, I've always stayed holed up in the base. It's been such a long time since I felt free enough to just breathe like this. Don't worry. I'm really just... Oh? There was no need to hesitate. In moments like this, nothing felt more right than wrapping her in a simple embrace. This is what we both needed most right now. Adjutant, you... Her surprised yelp softened into a long, relieved breath. Released onto my chest along with the trembling of her shoulders and the rhythm of her heartbeat. Feeling a little better now? Her soft reply was all the reassurance I needed. I loosened my hold slightly, resting my chin gently on top of her head, savoring this rare moment of peace with her. Such a naughty student. What's that? Nothing. I was just thinking, thank goodness that Professor Freesia is just a nickname, unlike Adjutant. Why do I feel attacked? Oh well, sure, it doesn't matter. Those 3 syllables represent the most genuine, most dependable presence in any world, simulated or real. You don't like your nickname? What? I love it. I love it so much. She gave me a gentle nudge with her forehead, her expression brightening as a growing smile replaced the shadows that had lingered there. But I'm starting to feel like there's not much left for me to teach you. You're sharp, unpredictable, and always marching to the beat of your own drum. It's impossible to figure out what's going on in that head of yours. And what about you, Professor Freesia? What's going on in that head of yours? Me? What's in my head? Hey, don't flip this back around on me. You're so good at making little quips just to change the subject. I'm not thinking about anything. Really? Not thinking about anything? Or overthinking everything? I eased my hold on her and lowered my head, meeting her gaze as she looked up at me. Yeah, I'm overthinking it. That's right. I'm overthinking everything. She murmured to herself, then turned around and sat at the edge of the cliff. What are you overthinking? Do you want to talk about it with your naughty student? This wording, gosh dang. Then come sit next to me. Without looking back, she patted the empty spot next to her invitingly. Come on, sit with me already. I didn't move, so she turned and craned her neck impatiently, urging me again. I joined her at the cliff's edge, letting my legs dangle freely into the open air as I tried to relax. Tell me, Adjutant. That's weird, the volume dipped down there for a moment. If a scientist starts doubting their own beliefs, what should they do? Beliefs? Yeah, beliefs in science, in objective truths, and whether the world they live in is even real. My throat's drying out, so is my thought process. She glanced at me, then began to unravel the confusion weighing on her mind. I need a bottle of water. You see, science and superstition, they're always seen as opposites, aren't they? Right? People who value and practice science approach the world with logic and curiosity. They dig deep, driven to understand themselves and everything around them. Superstitious people, on the other hand, tend to start with reverence, fear, and fantasy before even attempting to seek knowledge. They shy away from the unknown and even choose to cling to wishful thinking for things that could easily be explained with a little effort and reason. They'll even go so far as to make up elaborate rituals and stubbornly follow them, convinced these will protect them from misfortune or bring good fortune. Oh, like how people believe that picking up a penny with its head up equals good luck, while tails up is bad luck. Or how people don't want to walk underneath a ladder because they refer to it as bad luck. FYI, that started as a stupid story because some guy walked under a ladder in the middle of a breeze, or because somebody wasn't being careful while on it and the ladder fell on him. It's not bad luck, it's just bad timing. It's superstitious, dumb beliefs that a lot of people don't really understand fully. By that logic, scientists and the superstitious are fundamentally different. The lines between them should be clear, right? Oh, how I wish that were true. For someone like me, superstitions should be demystified, explained, and snuffed out completely. That's just how it should be. But now I'm not so sure anymore. Since we set out, made our way here, and encountered the beating border folk. No, maybe it started even before that. Back in Containment Zone Aleph in Eurus, and in New Hintiro, during my post-mission analysis for those large-scale operations, I saw how the locals lived. But this time it's so much clearer and stronger, it's left me with a question I can't shake. Why is it that even though we're all living in the same world, our understanding of it can be so vastly different? Of course, I heard of the curse of knowledge, that once you've learned something, you can never truly unlearn it, that knowing changes you forever. That is true. But this is about bias or perspective. What I don't understand is, why does the same world appear so different to me and my colleagues in the lab compared to how it seems to these people? Science teaches us to question everything, to approach the unknown with insatiable curiosity and relentless drive for knowledge. But that curiosity doesn't come from science itself, it comes from being alive. As long as someone's alive, they should naturally want answers. Stop making me scroll. It's the third time you've done that. Stop it. Real answers, in other words. We should all be curious by nature, shouldn't we? We should all want to learn, to know, but these people... Gonna make me do it again? Gonna make me do it again? Okay, no, good. They have faith. Faith in things that to us are so transparent we can see through them at a single glance. Right. faith. Their faith is so strong that it made me start doubting myself. Could it be that I'm the one who's wrong? I watched as her body language, tone, and expression shifted from "Stop it!" firm resolve to hesitant uncertainty. I knew that even if I had to say something entirely off the mark, I couldn't just stand by and do nothing. Meeting her gaze, I gave her my answer. Everyone has to find their own way of living, deciding what to believe in, what helps them survive. Maybe it's never about being right or wrong. What are you saying? It's never about being right or wrong? Wait, you're playing word games, adjutant. Her instinct was to cling to her own understanding, but the thoughtful nature she couldn't suppress quickly took over. Huh. If we go with your theory, then wouldn't science just be another kind of faith? Well, maybe I should rephrase. What I meant was... No, hold on. Let me think this through on my own. If science is a type of faith... I get it now. It's actually true. Yeah, it makes sense. She didn't give me a chance to argue. Instead, she dove headfirst into her own thoughts and analysis, quickly arriving at her own conclusion. What's so funny? I'm laughing at myself for being so stupid. Professor Freesia is such a dummy. An idiot who belongs locked up in her lab. It will serve me right if I never grow tall. Freesia, don't say that. You don't have to pretend. No, really, I'm not pretending. I actually get it now. Think about it. People need an ethos to live by. An ethos is like the all-encompassing framework for our desires. The fuel that drives everything we do, right? And no matter what we do, we face challenges. Even something as basic as eating takes effort to chew and swallow. Without that drive, people would just become lazy, lock themselves away, and drift through life without purpose. The harder the challenge, the stronger your ethos has to be to push through it. And scientific research is one of the hardest challenges of all. Or maybe I should say it has no endpoint, no finish line. So, as a scientist, I, Freesia Ignis, need a strong and unwavering ethos to keep myself going. And an ethos like that can only come from faith. The most unshakable, resolute kind, which means I can think of science as my faith. I'm not a weirdo, and they're not lunatics. We're all the same, aren't we? Look at that, she figured it out. Wow, it seems like Professor Freesia's ready to launch a new lecture series. Theoretical research with Heimdall Masters of Logic. What do you think? Master of Logic? There you go again with your nonsense, adjutant. Laughing, she gave me a playful punch before leaning back and letting her body rest against the ground. When I think about it that way, I can't help but feel a little jealous of the forebearers and pioneers who laid the groundwork for modern science. Jealous? Why? Huh? Don't give me that. You know exactly why. Her widened eyes bore into me, as though she was looking at the worst actor in the world. I really don't. It's because of time, of course. With a sudden burst of energy, she sprang to her feet, standing tall and gazing down at me with sincerity and intensity. Time? Yes, time. In an era of peace, the purpose of scientific research is to benefit humanity, to alleviate suffering, and to create better living conditions. But now what is science being used for in this era? Killing, fighting, power, money, or something even worse. No, wait, hold on. People who exploit their status and talents as top scientists to serve the wrong causes have fundamentally strayed from the right path. What if I've strayed from the right path too? She cut me off, her words shattering the light-hearted atmosphere we'd shared moments ago. What lingered wasn't tension, but an ambiguity that was difficult to define. I couldn't help but rise to my feet as well, meeting her gaze as I searched her serene expression for truth that always seemed just beyond my reach. I don't know how long we've been recording now, but it feels like it's been over 45 minutes. So I'm trying to breeze through this as fast as I can. You haven't, Freesia. The Freesia I know would never do that. That's why I just called myself an idiot. Her smile was so genuine, so sincere that it only deepened the mystery of her thoughts. There's this cruel world, relentless enemies, companions who keep growing stronger. And then there's me, just running in place. What, am I not allowed to make mistakes, to lose my cool, to be blinded by the things I truly want? By the people and dreams I long for? I feel so lucky, yet so unlucky at the same time. I didn't get to live in an era of peace for long. I never had the chance to truly learn what mindset a scientist should adopt when facing challenges. Every step I've taken to get here, it wasn't fueled by logic or reason, it was pure obsession. No, it was more like superstition. Yeah, that's it. I've been clinging to my own kind of superstition all along. Before I met you, they called me a prodigy, a genius. But those labels, they didn't help me grow. They held me down. I moved forward just to protect those labels, sometimes with happiness, sometimes with pain. And then I met you. Let's just say that after we met, I learned something important. Stop making me scroll. I'm tired of scrolling. Some answers only come with time. Through experiences, through the ups and downs of life, through the endless cycle of failures and eventual acceptance, only then can you make peace with yourself. And what carries a person through that journey is their faith. It doesn't matter if it's tradition, superstition, or science. In the end, it's all the same. Not fully, but I won't argue with that. That's a fair assessment. Then what matters to you? Not telling. That's just plain unfair. Some things need to be said in the right place, at the right time. It took me so long to sort out my feelings and admit them to myself, so at the very least it should happen in a spot that belongs to you and me. A moment surrounded by blessings with witnesses to bear it. About to say softness, I don't even know where I got that from. Blunt, candid, heartfelt, intense. Just when I was least expecting it, she suddenly opened her heart to me. Her sincerity was overwhelming, leaving me momentarily speechless. Is that it? Are we done? No, we're not. Gosh dang it, let me finish with this already! Adjutant, look. Before I could respond, she had already shaken off any lingering hesitation or doubt, fully embracing the joy and relief of opening her heart. Let me guess, you're gonna show me some giant artwork terrain in the background. Not reading that. She grabbed my arm, pulling me along as she ran down the cliffside, leaning me toward the beautiful landscape we'd just been admiring. A beauty pure, timeless, and breathtaking. How nice. Even though it's just a single ray of sunlight breaking through, it feels so warm. So you're happy now, aren't you, Freesia? Of course I'm happy. How could I not be? I'm surrounded by sunshine right now. I called it. I was right on the money. Fine, I admit it. It's cute. There you go. You get your compliment. Good job. Over there, the sun rules in the sky. While here, you reign over my heart. We're done now. How long have I been recording? Called it! I was recording for 55 minutes. So it is time for me to end recording. Is there anything else I can buy? Anything good? No, there's not, because I don't want any of these things. I might just try to get some more. Because I don't know what else to do now. Oh, the game reset. How about that? Okay. Well, I got more stuff I need to do now. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. If you liked the video, then give it a like. If you want to see more, then please subscribe. And like always, this is Minnesotaker signing off, and I will see you next time. So, bye-bye! Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to smile, because remember, a smile a day goes a long way. I hope to see you all back here again soon. Hey, one more thing before you go. Can you please check out the links in the description and join the Discord server as well? Recommend more games like this for me to play. Thank you! Bye!